the opening round of the championship, the Clipsal 500 back in March, you put the cards on the table with your plans, your ideas for this team. We're nearly at the end of the season now. Give us your report card on DJR Team Penske for 2015.
From a report card perspective, I'd say that probably a C at this point, from the standpoint, maybe if you looked at the last few races, looked at Bathurst, you might give us a C+, but we got a long way to go to be at the top, and I know that. But on the other hand, from a business standpoint, and the commitment that we've made to having the series be part of our marketing, part of our process going forward, I think we're an A. So if you average that, I'm somewhere around a B. So
originally, it sounded like you had planned or perhaps earmarked 2017 for maybe an expansion to 2 cars. That's been brought forward now. What was the catalyst to making that happen for 2016? And it sounded like it happened on Sunday night at Bathurst, did it?
Well, other people have asked me the same question, and I think we were, people in our organization said 2 cars, 2 cars, 2 cars. Well, we didn't really have the people, we didn't have the understanding of the series, and I think it was the right move. And even Dick Johnson, who was an advocate for 2 cars, said later, we did the right thing. But once we saw that we're getting the speed, certainly the performance that Scott and Marcus had without the accident, we were very competitive. It was just a turning point. It was the Bathurst race who said, we'll make that decision. I think having the right driver available was key for us, and the fact that we felt we got traction. And quite honestly, it just showed everyone that we were committed, our people inside and also our sponsors on the outside.
How wide did you cast the net for other drivers? And we know Fabian's a great driver, but what were the qualities that made you think, yes, he's the right one for us?
Well, when you look up and down the paddock, there's not a lot of people that were available. I think they all had contracts. Coulthard had a contract that was, he was open. We felt from his experience he'd been a winner. I had a chance to meet with him, and he seemed to be the type of person that we could use from the standpoint of a commercial, standpoint of our business side. His relationship technically with the team showed speed. In fact, the first race I saw him, was when he won in Adelaide. So it was not a big, long process. It was availability, the type of person we wanted, someone that wanted to come with us. Because, basically, you're stepping into a situation somewhat unknown, but also one that I hope people realize that we're going to be here. We want to be challenging the best, and that's why we're here. And I think, for me to say this, I think the teams that are running at the top do a great job. The sport is well managed, by Warburton and his team. There's no question we can compete here. We see IndyCar, we see NASCAR, and I would say the fan support, the brand support here is something I haven't seen anywhere.
You touched on Scott Pye before. I mean, he came in Tasmania, big shoes to fill, taking over from Marcus in that sense. He's come a long way in a short period of time. He's doing a great job, isn't he? Well,
I think a couple things have happened. We put him in the car once Marcus made the decision to step back, and it's taken some time for him to, to really get settled in the way we needed him to. On the other hand, he helped us make the car better. I think we started to take the car and mold the car around the driver, his driving style, the way he brakes, I think all around the car, the aero side, the engine side, suspension side, we've made some big steps.
You have a target and an expectation, or do you take the same approach you've done in IndyCar and NASCAR and gradually get all the pieces right so you're in a winning position?
Well, the competition changes, the rules change, the personnel change, and what we need is continuity. We need to understand the rules so it's where it can be consistent, continue to build our cars. The driving is key. The engineering talent we have to build on that as we go forward. And certainly just the guys on the ground, the mechanics that are working on these cars every day. We need to bring 2 cars to the racetrack that are identical, and we've proven that in NASCAR, because every weekend our guys are almost on top of each other. Quite honestly, I respect the owners that we have here that are running up front, and I just like to be sometime be able to be right there next to them, up top.